of ST has coordinates 5, negative 8. Find the coordinates of point S. I even gave you a hint. End point. So we did that at the very last of our lesson, I think, on Friday. So we know to find the midpoint, there's a midpoint formula. And we could use that formula and work backwards. But I taught you another way, and I called it leapfrog. To play leapfrog, I'm going to write that. When you're looking for an end point, you can play leapfrog. To play leapfrog, you put the points in a row, like this. You make them collinear. You put the points in a row, and you put the midpoint in the middle. The midpoint is 5, negative 8. So I'm going to put the midpoint in the middle. I'm going to put one of the endpoints that they gave us. I'm going to put that one first. And then the last one is the one I'm looking for. Circle my X's and underline my Y's like usual. And now I'm going to start leaping. How far do you leap from 0 to 5? Plus 5. So I leap plus 5 again. 5 plus 5 is 10. Now I'm going to do my Y. From 4 to negative 8. If you don't know how far you leap, then you just subtract them. You always subtract to find the distance between two coordinates. So 4 minus negative 8 would be 12. We're going backwards here. We're going backwards 12. So we just go backwards 12 once again. Negative 8 minus 12, negative 20. So 10 comma negative 20 was the end point. That's not a midpoint problem. It's an end point problem. All right, 13. Find the distance between the points the nearest 10. So I taught you last week to circle your X's and underline your Y's. And then I taught you to put the skeleton of the distance formula. And once you do this enough, you're going to memorize that skeleton. You're allowed to use a formula chart. You don't have to memorize the distance formula. But if you practice this enough, you will definitely memorize that skeleton. All right, so I'm going to put my X's together. It doesn't matter which one I put first. If I'm going to pick this coordinate first, I better pick it first again. Oh gosh, is that an 8 or a 3? Okay, a 3. I had covered it up. There we go. And honestly, if you set the skeleton up right and you put those coordinates in correctly, X minus X, Y minus Y, then the rest of it is up to your calculator. Okay, guys, get ready. We are doing number 19. It is not going to be pretty. I wish they had some pretty options on this worksheet, but they didn't. All right, what I would do first is plot those points. Negative 6, 2. So there's Y. Please do this with me. Math is not a spectator sport. You should not just watch. You should do it with me. Z, 8, 8, 8, 8. We want to find the point that is 3/5 of the distance from Y to Z. 3/5 of the distance from Y to Z. You can connect these or not connect them, but let's just make sure we realize it's a segment and we're traveling from Y to Z. Okay, step 1, you ready? No, we don't find the distance actually, but good thought. Step 1, we find delta Y and delta X. We find the rise and we find the run. Let's do it. How many do I rise and how many do I run? That's what I want you to find. All right, we can do either of them first. The order doesn't matter. You can count them, count on the graph, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can use the coordinates. You could have said, how do I get from 2 to 8? Oh, plus 6. Okay, now you can count the run, or you can look at the coordinates. From negative 6 to 8, that's a long run. That's plus 14, right? So we're going positive and positive, rising and running. We're not going backwards at all, so we want to make sure those are both positive. Okay, I don't want to rise 6 and run 14 anymore. I want to rise 3/5 of the way. I want to run 3/5 of the way. So we're going to take our rise and our run, and we're going to multiply them by 3/5. I want to go 3/5 of the rise, and I want to go 3/5 of the run. Now is when you need to get your starting coordinate ready. So here's my start. I'm going to start at y because they listed it first. Starting at y, I'm going to find out how much do I rise and how much do I run. And I'm going to ask my calculator because I'm not going to multiply that in my head. Okay, so we'll do the x value first. 14 times 3/5. And I get 8.4. So from where I was at -6. I'm going to travel 8.4. Okay, now do the other one. 6 times 3/5. Get 3.6. I'm going to travel 3.6. Yes, to travel 3/5 of the way, you take the delta x and the delta y and you multiply by 3/5. It's the same as multiplying by 3 and dividing by 5. Yes. All right, so what's our answer? -6 plus 8.4, 2.4. 2 plus 3.6,